What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JaJuan and I'm back with another video.
We're back.
So as y'all know, today is February 28th, which is the last day of Black History Month. And what kind of black person would I be to not do a video that's dedicated to our month? So today what I'm going to be doing is seeing if all of us think the same. You know the stereotypes, everybody think we all think the same, so we finna put that to the test. What we're going to do is react to this video together. I'm going to give you guys my ideas and opinions, and I want you guys to sound off in the comments on what are your guys' ideas and opinions. And we're just going to get right into it. Wait, but before we get into this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends so they can share with their friends, and they can share with their friends so they can all hear about this amazing content. Now, let's get right into the video.
All black people aren't going to be the same.
Cool, and I agree with you. And that's why I'm in the disagree column.
But a lot of us, well, a lot of them, or us, well, I'm black, so a lot of us are the same, but it's not. It's probably wouldn't be in the way that everybody else would say we are the same, if that makes sense.
Need that kind of foolishness around
All
the
right, let's
children.
fight. What's up?
I want y'all to play with me, so if y'all disagree, go to the left. If you agree, go to the right. This would be the first question. Strongly agree. All of them about to say they strongly agree. Well, that can go either way because some people don't like fried food. I like fried food, so strongly agree.
I thoroughly enjoy fried chicken. I love it. You know, I understand the stereotypes about it and all that kind of stuff, but I love it.
I just don't
Yeah,
really
same.
like fried food. I'm not really
See?
a fan of chicken.
See, her first thing was I don't really like fried food, so yeah.
Eat it, so.
You've never had fried chicken?
I have had it. I just
Oh.
I don't enjoy it. I don't really eat fried foods. I try to eat pretty healthy. So.
Strongly disagree. Ain't they gonna slip out of their head anyway? I don't care. Wait, I'm not even finna pause this a whole bunch because we only a minute in, but I'm just gonna let them talk.
I feel like I'm always on the wrong side. Would you guys be offended if I had dreads since I'm biracial, since I'm half black?
No,
and half
'cause
white?
you
So
black.
where's the line? Like if someone's a quarter black.
I'm not gonna sit there and come to your face and be like, "You're not 100% black, therefore
Yeah.
you can't." Like, that's not my place. However, if you're a white person and you have dreads in your hair, it's like, what does that mean to you? And you're not even wearing them right. Like, you don't even wash them.
I just don't see how a race can own a hairstyle. To be honest, like, hair is hair.
It's not owning the hairstyle. It's just certain stuff you just don't do, and that's really what it is, to be honest. But I personally do not care, but okay, because this is the difference between cultural appropriation and just wearing it. Like, as long as you're not saying, like, you know, stuff that's bashing black people while wearing black hair, then it's not really an issue. But at the same time, it just don't look right. So
I just don't see how a race can own a hairstyle. To be honest, like, hair is hair. There's all kinds of hairstyles in Africa. I still don't think that, like, a single race group can say, this one hairstyle, nobody else can do it but me.
Oh, Jesus.
no, disagree. Slightly disagree. No, strongly disagree. He said slavery was a choice.
This cookout needs to just die. Like, no more cookouts. No, bruh, just go home. Like, there ain't no cookout.
I'm sorry, I strongly agree because I don't like the idea of perpetuating this concept that all black people have to be the same. understood. People like Kanye are creatives, and he uses like creative speech, and some people just take him at face value or like kind of like the literal sense of what he's saying. And if you did that, every creative could be taken the wrong way.
I disagree with that, Deep. Like, I don't think that he's so creative and that his words are being misinterpreted. Like, he's making very specific phrases. Like, black people chose to be slaves. That's completely untrue, and in my opinion, that's just unacceptable.
But I think that's people misunderstanding what he's saying. I
How
really
would you
don't think he's
interpret
trying
that,
to.
though?
Yeah,
How do you interpret that?
No, I think what he's saying is there's a mindset where you know we
Shut up.
where like
Here, so okay, like he was trying to say it in the term of like, you know, it was a choice for you to stay there when you knew that you could have done whatever else to.
Say it was your choice to stay there and not get out. Okay. If you feel like slavery was a choice in any way, you just dumb. And that's just what it is. Like, how is slavery a choice? People try to escape and they no longer had to tell their story because they tried to escape. And if any of them was in that room and they tried, or if any of them was living, or if any one of them was living during that time period, they would not choose to try to escape either. That's so dumb. Like, they can't be serious, bro.
It would have been better to stay there when you knew that you could have done whatever else to get out, and maybe you would have ended up dead, but it would have been better than being a slave. So I don't. It's not like I'm. Whoa.
This is not you talking to Kanye. This negates the millions of people who did.
don't you believe that today there are people whose mindset they're corporate slaves or they're people
But you gotta
who
be
are
careful with the language you.
Even when you say corporate slaves, institutional slavery is still not a choice. Talking about physical racism back in the day or institutional systemic racism today, anywhere I go, we didn't choose to be like this. Or we don't choose to stay in that. It's many black people creating businesses and stuff like that, which is amazing. But at the same time, you still, it's looked at as a runner-up, and it's not by choice.
that they're corporate slaves or they're people
But you gotta
who
be
are
careful with the language you use. Kanye's an artist. He's a lyricist. So you can't say stuff like that because
He's using
some people
metaphors.
haven't learned their history yet, and some people don't know that it was millions and millions and millions of blacks who fought oppression, who fought slavery.
But you're right in that he needs to be more conscious of his word choice because there's not everybody who's going to understand that.
And that's why I say
yeah.
somebody as smart as Kanye, I think he's doing this for shock value and for money. And if he's doing that,
He meant what he said. He felt like slavery was a choice. He felt like people chose to be slaves. They overcomplicating it. He's a lyricist. He's this. He's that. He is a lyricist. He is a creative, whatever the case is. But in that moment, he meant what he said. And when the man was arguing back with him, he further proved that that's exactly what he meant.
he's setting people back. And that's why I can't rock with him. Doing this for shock value and for money. And if he's doing that, he's setting people back. And that's why I can't rock with him on that.
what scares me is the second somebody speak in PC or not, or they're able to articulate what they're trying to say well or not, that they're excluded from cookouts and from a culture and from your identity. And I think that's scary because I'll tell you right now, the more we treat people who are different and isolate ourselves even, I think the worse it is for us long term. And to be honest, we're going to drive more and more people to have closeted feelings and emotions. And this goes back to people saying like would you rather have a racist next to you that's hiding it, or would you rather have a racist next to you that's letting you know how they feel and you know where they're coming from?
Cool, and I agree with you. And that's why I'm
I
in
don't.
the disagree column. He can come eventually once we have some conversations. But right now, I don't need that kind of foolishness around the children.
He's like Carlton. Yes, strongly disagree. Strongly agree. What do they like? Not even to pick on them, but those two look biracial. So I do understand that they would have a different, a different mindset on what's going on. But it's clear as day that police target black people, woman or man. Like, this not even being opinionated at this point. This is acting ignorant.
I said strongly agree. It was created to monitor the minority in the group. Back in the day, it was the Irish, it was Italians, and so it's ingrained into the system of policing, and that's the problem. I think we have to reframe what policing is now, and until we do that, it will always be targeting people of color because that's
Yeah.
what it was created to do.
I see it as like there's a little bit of a socio-economic piece to it. It's like kind of saying the SEC mostly prosecutes white people through like years of institutional racism. You know, where there's poverty and there's communities that are kind of like have created this like perfect storm of issues, like whether it's legal issues, people robbing each other, selling drugs or whatnot. You know, the idea is if you police that neighborhood more, you're going to have more of them arrested.
Can I ask you, D? Can I ask
You
you,
making me mad.
do you feel like there are equal amount of arrests happening on Wall Street than there are happening in the hood?
Like the white collar like crimes are I do think that they're less like monitored and less, you know, but without having all the data that I need. But I do feel that they don't suffer as much consequence
They don't.
when they commit crimes.
That's very true. You got to look at the prison industrial complex here too in the U.S. That's huge business. So, and if you look at a group of citizens that have been perceived as no value having to society or whatever, okay, boom, we're gonna push them, we're gonna pipeline them into that system.
Yeah, and I also think that, you know, the qualifications to become a police officer are so low, and it's like my
It
life
is.
is literally in your hands, man. Like if I get pulled over, maybe that will be the day that I go home to be with the Lord, and I think that that's really tough for me because you don't want to be distrustful of the police, but they're so incredibly distrustful of us that it's like you could literally kill me.
My father worked in law enforcement, and he's a black man. So there are some law enforcement officers that don't feel that way. However, I think a lot of it does have to do with fear and the fear of black people. So I think that if we kind of address that fear level and that we didn't portray black people, especially black men, as, you know, big, scary guys, that would change a lot of stuff.
So why didn't she just go all the way to the right? This question is a little tricky because I wouldn't say I act different, but you do kind of, I don't really call it acting different. I call it adjusting to whoever you around. It's a word for it. I can't think of the word right now, but you just adjusting to your environment. And if your environment is not, let's just keep it real. Black people and other races act different, so it's like you're gonna act like your race when you're around people of your race. When you're around people that's not, you're not gonna act how you acted around certain people because that's not the climate you in. It's just that simple. I don't really think it's I change who I act or I act differently. But I guess that is acting different because you don't want to be seen as, you know, you could probably be loud or whatever around your black people. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I'm just gonna be quiet on that one. I'm gonna say slightly agree.
You moonwalking? Which one? How you gonna moonwalk?
I agree that I act differently around people that aren't black just because, like, corporate America doesn't want to hear me talking, doesn't want to hear me speaking in slang. And
You right. Yeah, I agree.
am not
I
happy
go to
about
agree.
it. Like, I wish that it was different, but I feel like I need to do to fit into that group.
I strongly disagree. I am me wherever I go. I'm a proud black man, and I'm gonna speak my truth every day of the week. If you don't like it, shit, it ain't on me. That's on you.
Oh, bro.
I feel like it's a disservice to anyone I'm around if I'm not being my authentic self. Because my white friends might want to hang out with me because I'm black. They want some flavor. So if I go in being something totally different,
There's two different things. One thing is, are you changing yourself or are you changing how you're communicating who you are? And I'm changing how I'm communicating.
Okay,
who I
that's
am,
what
but
it
still
is.
remain the
Yeah,
same.
that.
Like, do you
Changing how you're communicating who you are. And I'm changing how I'm communicating who I am, and I still remain the same.
do you have a white voice?
do I have a white voice? I know, Cole, I'm a black man. Trust me. Every black person growing up in America can code switch.
Then you need to move a little bit.
That's what it is. Code switching.
Here's the thing. The question was, do I act different when I'm in different surroundings? And no. But see, how would I ever be accepted if I'm always code switching? That means I'm always acquiescing to something else. You see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
in order to be accepted, you got to bring you.
Do you guys, when you say code switch, do you mean you change the actual words you say, or do you mean you change
The
tone of
way
your voice?
you say
I
it.
change how I say it, and I change what I say. I'll walk into a business meeting different than how I walk into the basketball court.
Yeah.
So that's me changing to fit the scenario.
Yeah, I
to
agree.
fit the end
I
goal.
agree.
And I don't view that as a negative. I view that as me focusing on what the end goal is.
But I feel like American society has made black people operate in that fashion. Because nobody asks white people to code switch.
For sure.
They can be white in America, China, wherever. They accept it. We're around like Visa. But I'm the only one that has to go around and say, oh, hi, how you doing?
Strongly agree. Everybody better say strongly agree.
Well, all right, y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm glad that we all strongly agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, you know.
For some reason, I thought one of them was
have
gonna
these
say
discussions
something
and, like,
else.
still go home knowing that we're family, and I love being black. I love that blackness is expressed many different ways. It's not just one way.
I'm proud to be biracial. I'm proud of my immigrant half, proud of my black half. My ancestors fought their own freedom from slavery.
Yeah, I love being black. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, yeah, it presents its challenges, but I couldn't fathom being something else.
Yeah, me
So
either.
I am very proud to be an African American. Which is fun.
That was a good compilation. Well, my final takeaways is, well, for one, I do agree. I love being black, and I can't even imagine being no other color. I love the culture. I just love everything about being black. Even though, as he said, it do comes with its little setbacks, but still love the skin that I'm in. As far as the two biracial people, their answers was a little iffy, and that could be because they do have the white side that's speaking for them as well as they black side. I feel like with this specific video, they should have came with just the black opinion. It's like not the opinion with the white interfering. Like the girl, she feel like black people aren't mainly targeted by police. I could show multiple clips that can make this video 10 minutes long just off the clips of black people targeting or black people being targeted by police. But I'm not even gonna do that because y'all know what goes on as well as I know. As far as the dude, the biracial dude, or at least I think he was biracial. I'm assuming he's like black and Indian or something like that. I love Kanye West music. I love what he does in the booth and in the studio. But when it comes to what he say out of his mouth, it's not really pro-black. How could slavery be a choice? And then for them to say that he didn't mean it like that, trying to justify him saying slavery was a choice, and then you have the other girl saying, I mean, well, they could have done stuff, even though they could have died. That's better than being a slave. Nobody will ever choose death. I don't know why she said that. That didn't really make sense because we can look up how many people tried to escape and died, and once again, they aren't able to tell their story. Or would you rather somebody who stayed there and stuck through it and was able to tell their story, and so we can hopefully avoid something like that in the future because they didn't run. I think what Kanye West was saying was it's like one or two guards and then it's like thousands of slaves. Okay, the guards have weapons that are beyond the power of any slave. People try to do stuff like that, running, and once they get caught, they was used as an example or hung on a tree for everybody to see. They babies was hung, all stuff like that. Nobody want to go through that, so why would they run? It makes zero sense because it's like, especially after seeing something like that, you would think like, oh, okay, what is the chances of me making it out of all people? So yeah, I definitely don't think slavery was a choice. So I definitely disagree with Kanye on that, and I disagree with the other girl because I feel like police do target black people specifically. So that's all I gotta say about that. Thank y'all for watching this video. Once again, happy Black History Month. I hope March is a better month for all of us, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. And for all about black kings and queens, love the skin that you in because you can never be another one. Thanks for watching this video. It's your boy JaJuan, and I'm out. Peace.